They are called strong. They are expected to provide. They are told not to cry. Behind every family story is a father carrying burdens that many may never see. Today, we celebrate the silent sacrifices, hidden tears, and untold stories of fatherhood.
Hello and welcome to another very exciting edition of Conversation Podcast on NTA. It is special because we're celebrating very big heroes in our lives, and that's the fathers. This is the Father's Day edition.
Yes, today we are dedicating this episode to the men who work tirelessly behind the scenes. We're talking about the fathers, the guardians, mentors, and father figures whose sacrifices often go unnoticed.
Yes, and the world often celebrates them or look at them as just providers and protectors. Oftentimes, a lot of things around them are not taken cognizance of. One of them is a big one. I call it the emotional struggle. Now, there are other ones. Their mental health challenge, their fears, their challenges, their disappointments, and to a large extent, we also talk about this, their tears. They don't cry out, but they do cry.
That is why today's conversation is titled The Untold Stories of Fatherhood. We'll be exploring the experiences many fathers face, their silent tears, their pains, and how we as a family and society can help them live a healthier and happier life.
Yes.
After all, it is Men's Mental Health Month.
Fatherhood goes beyond just pleasant food on that table. It is inclusive of guardians for the children, mentorship, role models, providing, and a lot of times discipline and correctional attitude and activities towards the children. I don't know if I'm the only one thinking about that. Joy, we already heard you. We know you're in the house. Do you also think what I said it should be? Because a lot of times fatherhood we say is just food on the table.
No, it's not. It's gone beyond that. And that's why I keep saying that most of the time they say mothers are intentional. But these days, fathers are intentional. Fathers should be intentional.
Okay.
They shouldn't leave it for just the mothers to do their job. Because most of the time, when your father says anything, he doesn't have to say anything. Just looking at his face, you get the message.
Oh, yes.
We
have a father in the house,
yes,
right?
we do have a father in the house today to help us navigate the untold stories of fatherhood. He is a doctor. But more importantly, he is a father.
And when I asked him about his fatherhood, he said, I am an amazing husband and a proud father
to an
intelligent child. Okay,
wow.
So let's have him.
Dr. Sunday, can you introduce yourself to the house?
Okay, good morning. So I am Dr. Sunday Agbonika. I am a husband of one and a father of one as well.
Husband of one.
A very intelligent son, and very happy at that.
Very proud.
And I wear many hats, but on top of it all, I am a veterinarian. I also hold a veterinary degree from Ahmadu Bello University, and I hold a master's in animal welfare and behavior from the University of Pennsylvania.
Okay, thank you very much. Now you know our guest is ready for this show. And from the look of things, you get mouth too.
He's a proud father. He's very intelligent.
You get mouth.
Husband of one. That's very key. That's very key.
So before we launch this, I'd like to pay tribute to a father that I love so much, and that's Davido. What he did for the children, in captivity, on the world stage. He came up
that
wearing.
For me was, I cried.
Okay.
I did cry, and guess what? I think because Davido is an intentional father, I think he's just thinking about his child that he lost. And so when it comes to children, I noticed Davido is a bit compassionate. So I think that was why he did it on the world stage, and it was a very good thing to do. Yeah.
Okay.
And everybody's talking about it.
Yes, everybody's talking about it. And
yeah.
I noticed they showed a clip of Burna Boy and Shakira.
Nigerians
Nigerians, I think they had the highest population of artists in FIFA.
Even though we didn't qualify.
We were not there.
Even though
you can imagine if we qualified, what would have happened?
Oh my God, did you see the song? Did you see when they were singing, what's his name?
Rema's song.
Rema's song. My
God, this was alive.
Imagine if Nigeria
were singing.
That's what it would be Nigerian FIFA. It would be Nigerian World Cup.
I was just
Nigerian World Cup.
Calm down.
Calm down. And
I was proud.
It was beautiful.
It was.
And we had a bit of Rema's song there.
Yes. We didn't qualify, but
we qualified.
So how has the tournament been so far, though?
The tournament.
I know you were watching football yesterday.
Oh yes, I did, and I was almost late. The tournament for me started a bit slow because there were so many issues. But you see, the thing about football is that people have just packed that issue, because for a Nigerian, I can buy a ticket for $1,000 because $1,000 is 1.5 million. Mm-hmm. Oh yes, maybe because our money doesn't have that value or something, but yesterday for me the World Cup started because I'm a Messi fan. Others will say Ronaldo was the best. For me, Messi was the best. Unfortunately, it was an African country that he defeated, but he's 38. This is his last World Cup. I can't believe a 38-year-old man scored a hat-trick. So for me, the French team played yesterday as well. You know, they played Senegal. It was macho to macho, but I guess when you score that goal, it weakens your stuff.
All right, enough for the World Cup, because I know
let's get into what we are here today.
We have a lot of it coming on World Cup with medley. Medley shows. So you have to wait until 1:30 to digest that. But before we kickstart today, let's touch base with Debbie, and you get to find out the real cost of men's struggle. Then we get to talk.
For generations, men have been viewed as providers, protectors, and problem solvers. Society often expects them to carry the financial, emotional, and social burdens of their families and communities. But what happens when the weight of responsibility becomes too heavy to bear? From paying school fees and rent to caring for aging parents and supporting extended family members, many men find themselves juggling multiple responsibilities at once. While responsibility can give purpose and direction, excessive pressure can take a serious toll. Health experts warn that chronic stress increases the risk of high blood pressure, stroke, anxiety, depression, and sleep disorders. Unfortunately, most men do not openly discuss their struggles due to societal expectations that they must always appear strong. The burden becomes even heavier during periods of financial hardship, unemployment, or economic uncertainty. Some men work long hours with little rest, sacrificing their physical and mental health in an effort to meet expectations. The strength of a man should not be measured by how much burden he can carry alone. True strength includes knowing when to seek support, prioritize health, and maintain balance. As conversations around mental health and well-being continue to grow, there is an increasing need to acknowledge the weight that men carry and to create environments where they can thrive. Because when responsibility becomes overload, the cost may be measured not only in stress, but in years lost from a man's life.
According to a great artist of our time, Flavor Nabania, to be a man, it's not a day's job. Did you ever see your father struggle? Because I think I grew up I don't see my father struggle.
No, that's what you think.
No, like
No,
I didn't
see.
see.
She said she did not see.
I didn't see.
So that
But
means
I
he
feel
did
like
a good cover up.
Yes.
They do. Our parents. Well, let me not say our parents. For me, I can say that, because if anybody told me my father struggled, I would say it's not true.
Exactly.
That's how it is for most
so
of us.
he knew how to manage it that we didn't know.
True.
You know, there was something my father said after retirement. Something happened, and all of them were set to leave. And my father said something, and it's still resonating with me today. And he said, from where you are now and where you're going to lose half of your friends. I didn't understand what he meant.
Oh, wow.
You understand? So
you
see, you cannot be coming from Ikoyi and going down the mainland and you think your friends will stick with you. But I didn't understand. But guess what? The minute I moved down, I had friends who say I don't go across the bridge. But you see, and that thing has helped me all through my life, that people tend to be your friends or be with you because of the environment they see you and they feel you're there. And that is one thing I took
from your father.
From my father, very young.
Okay.
That any situation you find yourself, expect it. Yeah.
You know, I think that generally men have a lot of pressure. Growing up, maybe I was always with the woman, that's my mom.
Yeah.
So I saw a lot of hard work. So I felt men generally have soft life. So I used to dress up like a man because I wanted to be a man. Yes. I wanted to be the man because I didn't want to have to go to market, take care of kids, cook, do all of that, because I felt man's job was just easy. You come into the house, there's food served for you, you leave, you come back. I wasn't even sure I could reckon with him bringing money because I didn't see when the money exchanged hands.
Yes.
But as we got older and got wiser, I found out that he was actually picking a lot of bills. All the sweets, all my health challenges, everything, it was on his pockets. And this man still had time to take us for rides, take us on holidays, you know, ask you about your schoolwork. You know, even though your mom does the assignments, but when he comes back, how was school today, blah, blah, and all that. And I recall even when I was in the university, I had married. And my father just did not want to let go. So once in a while, he would pretend like he came for an errand around my university area.
He'll come to you.
And then he will come to there was no cell phone. So he will come to the school and goes like, I said, what are you doing? I said, I came to check up on ABCD. So I said, okay, so your school is nearby. Let me see if you're there. I know my father came to check on me to see how I'm doing in the school. But then, I'm not a father. There's a father in the house. I was Dr. Sunday. I would like to find out, being a father, how cheap, how easy it is.
Thank you, first of all, for all the perspectives you've shared. So being a father is a tough challenge. It's a strong nut to crack, especially because, so we all grew up knowing you're supposed to be a man. We grew up knowing as a man, you're supposed to muzzle it as far as your feelings and everything goes. We grew up knowing that as a man, you really cannot show weakness and everything. And so with all of that, you go through a lot, especially with the changing dynamics in the world of today. So as a man, you could go through a lot, but it is something that you have to keep within. And like you've all rightly said as well, it many times is not stuff that you would also especially bring out to discuss with the children. and depends on your partner as well. You may or may not sometimes be able to discuss the full weight of certain things with your partner. So the weight of all of it remains with the man. And it can really be a strong nut to crack sometimes. But thank God for the fact that God has helped us. And it's also translates to some of the statistics and data you may have seen or heard, that most often the men usually live shorter than the women, even in marriages. So the mothers live longer most times than the fathers. It still boils down to the weight he has to carry and the weight that he may not necessarily be bringing out there, but carrying in himself.
I have a question to ask. You are talking about all these weights that you are carrying. Do you put talk to someone? Is there someone you put talk to specially?
Therapist.
Because I know that they say women talk, there's girls talk. At times, you'll be overwhelmed that you go to your mother. And is there guys talk or men's
talk or father's talk?
Or father's talk? Because
yes, definitely. So every guy should also have like his own, how do I call it, his own family. By family now in terms of, I mean like your guys that you sit with, you talk with. And it's also good to have that support system where you're able to have your guys that you can share you can sit down to discuss, and then people who are also in the same bandwidth with you, if I put it that way. I mean, it's to say, so like it's easier for a man going through some of these challenges and all to sit down with his guys who are equally married and then have discussions. It may be a thing of having those discussions with his guys that are married and all, and then you're able to understand and bring your different perspectives. Oh man, see how me I'm going through it, or see how me I'm navigating my own. Oh my guy, take them easy. All of that whole support system. It's also a different thing when like a married man is now having these conversations with friends who may not necessarily be at that stage just yet, and they may not necessarily get, and so you're more or less now trying to mentor them rather than trying to get the support that you need and all. So every man should actually also have your support system of friends who you're able to sit down with, have those conversations with, and they're able to share their own challenges, how they're navigating. You're able to share yours, and you're able to, let me use like the word a friend of mine would always say, compare notes. And then when you're comparing notes, now see how best you can be able to, what you can take from this person's notes, what you can give this person from your own notes, and all of that.
You know, it's good to have that conversation, but you're saying it, my mind is still going like this.
Yeah.
Because sometimes in the attempt to compare notes, you over compare notes.
Yes.
So it's important to know what to filter out and what to let be. For instance, and when you're also comparing the notes that you want to share with other people, it's important for us to be very objective with the notes we're presenting. Because if you go in because of emotional grievances you have, you tell your friends wrong things about your wife, you know, or your children, it comes back to you. And I always say, it's easier not to talk cheap about your family, because at the end of the day, that's really where your backbone is. Try to build it stronger. You know, thank you for sharing that bit with us. But then I also know that some men will go to in the evening. There are people, in fact, one of them is watching me as I talk.
They go to joints.
Joints! Maybe that's, what did he say? Maybe that's their own family.
I see.
It might be their family where they're unwind.
Let me not lie to you. I don't have anything with joints.
See, men may not have money.
Yes.
They see drink money.
They must have it.
Because maybe that is their own therapy.
No, they might not have the money. If you go to this joint, you realize that most of the time, owe me.
Huh?
What is
they owe? Then when it's end of the month, they pay this.
Wow.
Yes. You see them, they don't go to
every day.
They don't go to different joints. Sorry. They don't go to different joints. They go to joints that they know them. And they go all the time. And it's easier for them to owe the person because the person knows you are coming the next time. Yeah. That's like, look, let's call a spade a spade. That is the truth. And I always tell people it's not supposed to be a habit. I tell people you can go and drink once in a while. And most of the time, people take advice from where the joint they go to, and for me,
that's my fear.
Yeah,
exactly.
and for me, when you start taking advice from joints you go that the person is either drunk or he doesn't know certain things, then there's a problem. Let me tell you what I do when it comes to when I meet a man. I always tell people that, see, whether we like it or not, fathers have to be intentional. I always drum that because it's what the kids see their fathers do. That is what they're going to do when they grow up. I said something here about a year or 2 years ago. I had a friend, the guy was my friend, and I realized that he was always beating his wife. And because he's my paddy, I said, bros, come. Why you no go look for man where una go do this thing? Why do you always like to...
I didn't buy a punch bag.
No, I said, why do you like to beat your wife? You know, he said something. He said, oh, well, my father beat his wife and beat his mother.
I like, yeah, you.
And nothing happened and she stayed. But guess what? I'm not going to blame my friend because that is all he knows. That's the way he can control. Because what you don't know, you can't really give. So that is why we keep telling parents, fathers, stop saying your wife is stupid, your wife is this, your wife is that. Because when they grow up, these kids automatically, some other kids will say, no, this is how I grew up. I will not want to be like this. And that is why I'm very happy now that men are going to see shrinks because the system is mentally warped.
Yeah, it's really bad, and it's even getting worse.
Yeah.
Because he mentioned earlier that men are not expected to cry.
Yeah.
We're going to, get back to our guests, but at the moment, let's see what the men on the streets are thinking. How do they manage their emotions when it's going crazy? Vox Pop.
The ability to control one's emotion is very important because there is nothing anger so. Reacting with angers even complicate issues. But as a man who has deeper understanding, you know that you need to be calm. Yeah. You need to be calm. And when you are calm, it is after you reflect on it, you know exactly what really happened. Sometimes it might even be your own action triggers what brings offense without you knowing. And not everybody can be. We always believe that we are all right at every time. You understand? But not so.
For me, I don't used to cry if they make me angry. Once they make me angry, then I know that they are my parents or they are my colleagues or my brothers. So they know me some, and I have a younger ones. But if it's my senior ones, I will control my anger because even though if I react, the thing will still bounce on me again. So sometimes I used to control my anger. Sometimes I will walk out there. Then I know that I'm not seeing the person that makes me angry.
So the way that I can control my feeling from my family is that I was a teacher before coming here Abuja. So I'm very, very good in mathematics. So whenever I take my mathematics question, if I start solving it, I used to feel happy. Very, very happy. I can even call her and tell her, I forgive you, don't repeat it again.
Sometimes if your wife she give you something you angry with her, you're supposed to come out the house. You leave her, you come out the house. After she be patient, you can come back. When you come back, you can address her. That if anything you tell me, you go settle in between you and her.
Well, for me, as you can see me, in case of any eventuality of this, I normally smile. Smile is my own. Look, I hide my pain inside me because if I voice it out, it cannot solve the problem. I only smile, no matter how. I apply emotional intelligence by controlling myself, by pacifying the member of the family to make them see reason why things we should tolerate each other and live in peace and harmony?
Well, I try as much as possible to keep silent and walk away. Yeah.
Men don't talk. And this is something that we have to look at. They're taught to be a man and internalize everything. And then on top of that, us women, we have never learned, we were never taught what it means to create the atmosphere for your man to open up himself to you. And so in times, in moments where your man opens up himself to you, it's very hard for you to receive it. In fact, in a moment where you were upset at him, angry at him, mad at him, you used that information that he gave you, which was so sacred, against him. It was a slap to his face. And now you're asking yourself, why doesn't he talk? Why doesn't he want to speak to me? Why isn't he going the same way that he did before? So we have to learn how to create the atmosphere for a man to open up himself to us.
It's our job as women to make sure that the environment, the atmosphere, emotionally speaking, even physical at home, it's conducive for our men. Even if it's in the office, we should be the same way. Men must learn to open up before they die young. And I'm just saying that in my head, some of those men, I don't want to say you lied, but you prevaricated.
Let's ask our guest.
Okay, let us go to the guest. How do you manage your own? Do you cry?
Nobody even said cry.
Thank you for a good number of the things you had said, and even the people from the streets had said earlier. So people manage it different ways. Yes, there are things that will be better shared, let's say with your, like I said earlier, with your family, like your guys and all. There are also things that wisdom would let you know that are not the things to take to your guys and stuff. There are things you would rather just take some time off from, like if it's a heated, especially if it's something with your partner, that you will just detach from it a bit. Probably when you go to the office or some other time where you're able to get some time off to process and then come back. And sometimes you discover when you're able to process and everything, you come back with a new perspective, or at least you're able to come back with a better solution or a way around it. For me as a person, I navigate some of these different ways. And then one other way that I also navigate challenges, and I've been doing that even before I got married and still do that as well, is also having mentors. And by mentors, I mean people that have walked the path before you. Yeah. I personally have had not one, not two, but then different mentors for different areas of my life. So people who I feel and I respect because they have shown character and all of that in different areas, that when you have challenges, you're also able to go sit down with them to get counsel from. So as a person, there are things I take to my guys, for example, to speak and then just get that perspective. There are things that I will just take some time off to be able to find how to process better. And there are also things I will take to a mentor to say, you've walked this path before me, I have this challenge, how do I go through this? So I would advise that men have these different layers of support, and then you're able to now apply wisdom to know, okay, this particular challenge, where do I go? Or how do I process this? Do I take this to someone else? Do I take time off on this to think about this? And just that whole process.
Okay, it's interesting because it just cleared up when we complained about people carrying us to the beer parlor. So it means that there are certain things for beer parlor, there are certain things for pastors, different things. It's important. Yeah. But I somebody asked us a question. I just went through it. I want to find out from you, particularly. A woman sent a message. She says men don't assist in their homes as they should. Yeah. And from my own background, my father used to say a man is not supposed to be in the kitchen. True. I don't know if it's real
African
or not.
background.
Yes. Yeah. So what do you think about men helping out with chores, at home? I know as fathers, you're entitled to a lot of things, but would it also affect you mentally or affect your struggle?
So with helping out with chores at home, yes, society had taught men, especially our African society, our Nigerian societies, depending on the culture you come from, that men are not supposed to do certain things. Well, the world is changing. we're evolving in different ways and all. And traditionally, that was mostly because back in the days, the man was supposed to go out, spend all of his time out there, either farming or hunting or whatever else to bring home what was due to the family. In today's world, they're not necessarily going out to hunt. And in today's world, the wife as well is also going out to work and do her own stuff. We are here, for example, and I'm a man here, I'm the only man here, and I'm speaking with the three of you and all women who are also leaders in your own rights and doing your own thing as well. So
you forgot to count the cameramen. Here. You're not
the cameramen and all of that. Yes. So just bringing all of that to say the world is changing, society is changing today. So it also will not now be reasonable for a man to expect, for example, that the wife has been out all day as well, working, and then she comes back home and she's probably spending the next 3-4 hours doing meals, doing every other thing at home, cleaning the house and everything as well. So it's where the man also would now bring in wisdom to see how to manage the home and manage even the partner as well by whatever way he can support. When I say whatever way he can support, I would say there are different ways a man can navigate it. If you feel you absolutely cannot, then why not get people to pay to come stay with you and take care of the things within the household? But otherwise, man up, as a friend of mine would say. It would also be a thing of saying you can man up and support with a few of the things at home, and then let the wife as well work around some of the things. So it's not now to leave the home entirely to the woman to manage, but then you are more or less like seeing it from the perspective of we are now partners. I, for example, never wanted a wife who was just a housewife. So meaning I also needed to come to a place where I am telling myself in my mind as well, I am marrying a woman who is a career person, meaning I need to also find a way to support her at home. So it's also important for many men to either get that mind shift, or if you are not able to navigate that, then to say, okay, if it is cooking, I have people as well in the house to cook. You do your thing, especially if she's a career person who is also able to go out there. I have people who are able to help with the things at home. I'll pay them to do all of that, and then you do your thing. So different ways that a man could navigate it. It's either working together as a partner or having people run some of those things for the man or for the home, while the wife is able to also get a break or catch a break.
All right, the lines are still open. So for those who are watching, you can send Happy Father's Day messages to your fathers. And if you're a man, tell us how you want to be treated better to be a happier person.
Can I butt into
yes, please.
What he said? You see, it's so convenient when we're in this country to say we don't do certain chores. And I realize that the same people who are here, when they tend to go abroad,
they do all of it.
They do all of it. You know, they push the kids on the buggy, they take them to school, they give them baths, they cook. So here I'm sitting down, I'm wondering, why is it so easy for them to be able to do it there and not be able to do it here? And you see, the thing here is that I'm an Igala woman, so I know my Igala father cannot go to the kitchen. My brothers don't go to the kitchen. You understand? But things are changing, and we have tried to change the kids. We try to tell them that it's not a woman's job to on the generator. It's not the woman's job to fix the bulbs. It's not the woman's job to wash the clothes. It's not a woman's job to iron.
If you're saying all of that,
yes.
I think automatically I'm a man because I do all of that.
No, you grew up wanting to be a man.
You grew up wanting to be a man. I'm a hands-on woman. So I do the things the men do, and it's fine with me. But the thing here is that when you have mothers who have to get the kids ready for school, they're rushing, they have to go to work, they have to cook for their husbands, and there are some husbands I know who don't eat second-day food. It beats me.
I think I'm a man.
So that's what I'm yes,
because I know you're night food.
So it's not really easy. And even, sometimes women parboil. the meat or something. There are some men, you have to do everything fresh. So you see, Lagos,
they should bring money for fresh.
No, it's not about the bringing the money. It's the stress and the pressure.
It's the stress.
Especially like when I used to live in Lagos, I had some friends who were bankers. They live on the mainland and they work on the island. And the husband is waiting at the house for the woman to come and cook.
All right, so it's not about women today. So
it's not about women.
We're not going to answer that. Somebody sent us a question there. Salam alaikum, bonjour you all. Well done. In summary, if one is blessed with good wife, you will live long without any issues. That's from
That's very true.
And it goes back to and a good wife also is made by a good husband. And my guest has just told us that he's a good husband. Sarah, doctor, I'd like to ask you a question particularly. As a man, what do you think we women, because we don't know you that much, what should we do to ensure that we make you happier, we make you, I don't know, your adrenaline to run better? You know, we just want to see the men happier and live long for us. What are those things women are not doing that you think we can do? It's nobody's watching. It's you and me talking.
Okay, so first of all, like that video clip that was played earlier with the woman talking about the fact that most men find it or struggle with even being open to their partner. One of the first and simplest, or do I say most basic things would be to even be open enough. As a woman, for example, to be able to have your partner, your man, open himself to you. And like she did share there, the wrongest thing a woman would ever do would be to use what he shares in those moments when he's being open and everything against him. Because you've literally told him, you are no safe area for me to be able to bring these things out. So it's more like, I have to keep this within me. So having that kind of supportive partner who is encouraging of the man to be able to be open enough and all, would also, like they say, a problem shared is a problem solved. Sometimes, like we have already established, there are things that are better not taken out there, but are things that are better just shared probably with your partner. And so having that support system at home where you are able to just unbundle and just bring out and really share your concerns as a man and all can be refreshing. Knowing that you have a partner that you're able to just be free with and open with alone at home can be really refreshing. And then beyond that, it's also as good as saying, well, we are men. You know, like they say, so a woman wants to be pampered, a woman wants to be all of that. Well, a man also wants to feel like a king, simply put. And so it's also doing everything you can to make the man feel like a king in his castle. For you to make him feel like this home is his castle, and in this home and in this your castle, you are the king, you reign supreme and all. I'll give an example. I had a friend back in university who I wouldn't want to mention her tribe and all, but then she was a really good friend of mine. And we were so much of friends that when she was getting married, I was the only person who was on the groomsmen, who was a groomsman, but then was more of a friend of the bride than the friend of the groom. But because the husband knew I was coming for the wedding, he told me, Sunday, you know you are so close to my wife and everything and all of that is established. So, but you know you cannot, because of the relationship, come to my wedding and not be a groomsman because of that. So I was the only groomsman who was a groomsman, but then more of a friend of the bride than the friend of the groom.
Groom's bride.
But like I learned something from her back then. She knew that in her culture, the woman bends to give food and all of that to the man. She knew it was not something that was natural for her. So the one thing she was always doing in university back then was, I would come visit her. She was a really close friend that I visit her a lot. And then when I'm with her and all, she comes to give me stuff and then she's kneeling down, bending down. I'm laughing at her. But she will tell me, see, if you like, laugh. Now, you know, all I know is I'm using this to practice because this thing will be no easy for me. I'm using you to practice. And so I don't know about their marriage and everything, but I want to feel like that's something. And then she was also very specific on the fact that she wanted to marry somebody from her tribe, which was what she eventually did. So for her, she knew this is what someone from here would really appreciate. This is what will make someone from here feel like a king in his castle. So let me do this for him. And so they're out of the country now, but I want to believe that going as far back as university and using me to practice, it's something that even though they're out of the country and all, she would do for him even there, and will make him feel like a king even in where they are right now, where it's not supposed to be the norm in the culture.
Okay, that's a good one.
If you say so. If you say so.
But he did make a point because
yeah,
at the end of the day,
yeah.
In your home, even if it's a half-bedroom apartment, you know, not one bedroom, half now, the man is a king, and we must recognize that.
The bills.
Whether he's paying the bill or not, he's the crown, and you're the neck that is moving the crown. Okay. That's how it is. Okay, we have more comments coming in. He says, good evening. It's actually morning. Maybe he's not writing from Nigeria. Gentlemen and ladies in NTA, this is the first time I joined your program. Men should stop beating their wives.
Thank you.
Some women are noisemakers, but just walk away.
Just walk away.
The way you can tune off FM, it will change a lot. And he says he's Honorable Lord Marco Jo from Durumezi Mberi. Okay. The next question, let me take one more before I ask you my next question. Kudos to all fathers all over the world. Fathers are the backbone and pillars of our existence. Despite any man's weakness or financial status or background, the role and power can never be erased. It's God's given mandate. God bless all fathers. Emmanuel Efan from Yola, Adamawa State. You had something to celebrate the men.
Yes, because now that we're talking about it, it's not just about, you're talking about crown and kingship. Let's also look at songs to celebrate fathers.
Okay,
however,
music.
Yes.
It was difficult.
It was difficult to find. I realize it's as if we don't like men, or we don't like fathers. There are more women mother songs than fathers.
Yeah, Ludovandro sang his. I think that's the only one I know about fathers, actually.
That's the only one you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's launch this from Blessing and see.
Hello, my beautiful people. I am gladly back to be on your screens again, your girl with the rhymes and vibes. You know, anytime I turn up, it's all goodie bags. Yes, you heard me, goodie bags. And today is all for our fathers. Music to celebrate Father's Day is hard. It's not just easy to find. But I did my job. I did my homework. And in no particular order, we'll be starting with this ancient one, titled I Love My Daddy by Ricardo. I got you emotional there, right? I'm sorry, but I've got more in stock for you guys. On number 2, today is Father's Day by Abochi. Take it. You're all having fun here, because I am. Our heroes, our fathers, deserve all of it. Next is an all-time killer, girl child, boy child, every child, including adult child. Love it. Luther Vandross, Dance with My Father Again. Memory Lane Drew writes, come back a little. Does your father love saxophone? Then this next song is for him. Father Love by BJ Saxophone.
Àwọn ní bàbá kan, bàbá tó mọyì ọmọ, bàbá tó ń kẹ́ wa bí ẹyin, ó pọ̀ wá bí ọmọ. Is the father of the fatherless, helper of the helpless, hope of years to come, helper in the time of need, treasure of my heart, my sheep.
Bedu for papas and daddies. I'm not done. Wait for this one. A love song for all daddies on their special day. Legacy of a Father.
For every sacrifice behind the scenes, for holding us through all the in-betweens, we see the Father's image in your hands, steady anchor in the shifting sands. We pause to hurry, we kneel to say, we love you more than words.
Did you enjoy that? It's your girl Blessing saying Happy Father's Day to all our fathers, especially to my daddy, Mr. Joshua Tokan. See you next time. I leave you with this one for the road. Catch it.
Every word you say, our hero, every single day, you stood beside us all the way. Happy Father's Day.
Yes, we are all killed in to celebrate the Father's Day, and I really got myself hyped and emotional to thinking about my dad.
Yes.
But I want to find out which of them did you like most? I remember you mentioned dance.
Yeah, well, Dance with My Father. Well, today is not about us. Yes, today is not about us. Today is about fathers. So I'm throwing the question back to Dr. Sunday. Which song did you like the best among the songs?
So they all sank in really well, and I enjoyed them all. But I would still go back to the all-time classic, Dance with My Father.
All right, do you enjoy dancing with your son? And do you play games with your son as well?
Yes, definitely. My son loves to come and make us play football and make us dance, make us literally all of those.
And I'm asking, when do you have this special, because a lot of times people do things as family, but on your own side, do you have a special father-son time?
Yeah, so there are times when, so like for us, we just make out time every now and then to see how my wife has some time with him, I have some time with him and all. So there are daddy and son, there are times when we call it daddy and son time. We could just, two of us, just go off, for example, just go to the cinema, sit down, watch a movie, or just go sit down somewhere else, have a conversation. And literally, we have our own daddy and son time when we just decide what we want to do for that particular daddy and son time day. And then there are also moments with his mom when they also decide to do their thing.
Okay, that's a really concern.
Yeah, I want to use myself as an example. My father's time, you know, when we were growing up, it was so we used to sit on the table to eat together. I notice it's not happening anymore. Everybody just goes, carries their tray, and they just eat. So it was easier for us to sit down and banter and talk and discuss. The other one that I notice is that sometimes, most of the time, you know, our mothers take us to school and all that. So
now it's more fathers.
So most of the time when you take your kids to school, it's so easy to talk about certain things. And the thing here is that my father used to make up time during the weekends because he was a military man. So he used to make up time during weekends to take you to the club, take you swimming, so that you just, let's talk. Let's really talk. Okay, what are your issues? And you know, all those kind of things, because sometimes the way a mother advises is totally different from the way a father advises. So I think fathers should try and create more time where they can, you know, talk with their kids.
What's your exciting moment with your father?
I have the best in daddy.
Yeah, you have the best.
The best in daddy.
Are you saying because you're a part of Ghana?
No, that's the best. That's the best in daddy. I call him godlike Agada.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Wow. That's my amebo partner. We do amebo.
Amebo.
Our own time is like maybe in church.
Yes.
We do amebo of everybody. We do wide driving. It's just that's the man in my life.
Okay, so we will take more messages here. Good morning, NTA presenters. As a man, I am with my wife and 3 kids. I assist to cook, to wash dishes. I love doing it even when I'm back from work, because that's how I was raised up. I do it to relieve stress from her. But one thing I don't like is that she's not to be taken for granted. Zimo from Port Harcourt. That's really nice.
That's nice.
May husbands like you continue to increase. Good morning, presenters. If I see a man in the kitchen, is either the woman does it. I don't know how to cook, or is she sick? Anyway, your message is not very clear. I'm trying to.
No, I understand where he's coming from. A man is not meant to be in the kitchen. Period.
But I don't believe that. Yeah. I don't believe that. So
my father should not enter the kitchen. I beg him. He should not.
All right. Before we leave, I still want to go back to our guest for his final thoughts. And this final thought, I'm very specific about it. I'd like to know: can you open up to your son, like clearly everything? Can you cry in front of your child?
Oh yes. Okay.
Can the father cry?
Get that CB. Get that CB.
Well, it's not something I've done so far in his existence. I don't know if it's going to happen soon. I don't know if it's going to happen. Let me just put it that way.
Thank you for your honesty.
You know, why I say this is when we go to see psychologists, they tell us, let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah.
You know, and it makes you feel better. And we are talking about men and making their life better. Can you tell us that you would take it home and think about it, that you're going to be able to cry in front of your wife? And the men who are watching us, if you can cry in front of your wife, please send us a message. We'll read it and we'll respond to you. It's a message for you to take home. Yeah. Are you going to do that for us?
I'll take it home and think about it.
That's an Igalama. That's an Igalama.
All right, what's your final words for today for all the men who are listening?
Okay, so final words is just to say that, so like I did mention earlier, it's more or less a partnership. And I like to say it this way, it's a partnership with reciprocity. So the wife, for example, should treat the man as the king of the castle. And then the man also a reasonable man should also, with that level of this thing, should also respond back as well by treating the wife as the princess, the queen, and the godmother of the home and of the castle as well. So it's that relationship that the children also see, and then they also grow up to know that this is what the picture should be. Sure. The man and the wife are one, they are partners, but at the same time, they each support each other, but beyond support, they each also prioritize each other. So that is what I'll leave as that's my own take home, to say, yes, if this is done, it brings a harmonious home, and we will have children growing up as well to be the next generation that will also embody these characters.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much. And from this divide, I'd like to say happy Father's Day to all the men that I know, you know, and all the men who are watching me here, the cameramen, I see you. You're all fathers, and we're happy you're here. We have a lot of men in NTA, from our Director General down to the last of them. We say happy Father's Day. Please live long. We don't want you to die and leave us, because we don't have another one.
Aura for aura.
Aura for aura. Live for live. Okay.
Happy Father's Day to my daddy. Thank you.
Happy Father's Day to my daddy, where he's watching us. You
Okay.
know. Yeah.
So, on behalf of everybody here,
bye.